Welcome to Clixed Off, brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at LuckyDiceCafe.com. And now for your hosts, Daniel Powell, Jason Alvey, and Tylor Speeds.
Hey everybody, welcome to Clixed Off today. This is your host Daniel Powell speaking. Just want to let everyone know that Clixed Off is brought to you by TrollandToad.com, the world's largest Heroclix retailer. Find Heroclix new and old on Troll and Toad and use coupon code CLIXEDOFF for 5% off your Heroclix order. Merchant and pre-order items do not apply. And if you like what you're hearing today on Clixed Off, consider checking us out at patreon.com/clixedoff, and $1 and above gets entered into our monthly giveaways, and $5 and above gets entered into our Discord channel for Heroclix strategy and tactics discussion. And joining me today is Tylor, the Mad Titan Spees.
I like that. Yep. How we doing?
And Alex, trying to get them Waldo arms every game, Cruzz.
Yeah, that's fair.
And one of you two has a fan on, I think. So just FYI.
Not me. I'm freezing.
No.
All right, one second.
So, all right. So today, I was wanting to do a little bit of a set review on the Fantastic Four 2021 storyline pieces, and the legacy cards, and I wanted to talk about our Coffee and Clix teams, and kind of what we're playing and how we expect the team to work. So, and that's it. And then we've got a few listener questions as well. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of, I'm hoping this is shorter. Could be longer. I don't know. Just a short little episode for the short little Fantastic Four storyline piece. And the reason I was thinking about this is we'll get to there, but like the prize Doom and the prize Surfer are like $100. And I'm like,
oh wow.
I'm like, why are they $100? So we'll get to there. Are they worth $100? We'll find out. So we got a preview of this set back in Gen Con back in September. So, but let's start out with the Reed Richards Alpha. Tylor,
Now, do we need to mention like where people could get this? Hopefully.
Well, so the 4 figures and the team up cards come in random packs that you can buy for play at home, and a complete set of everything comes in the prize kit with the Doom and the Surfer, and that's designed to be like a store play event.
Okay.
But I just looked. We're playing for ours next week, or this upcoming Thursday, and I looked at the prize kit this past Thursday. And it's a factory set of this whole thing, including the maps.
Do the random ones just come with like one figure, one team up card?
That's correct, and one of the 2 maps.
Yeah, and so you need to double check with your local, because I think for us, we only got 3 play at home kits. So I don't know if we actually got the prize kit. Like I don't know how they're doing it. Like we ordered the prize kit, but we may have only gotten the play at home kit so far. But
that's right. Yeah, and shipping's been an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
My other store in town just told me that Alliance is potentially back on like a 2-week delay. Now the one store that I normally play at's a bigger volume store compared to the other store that's right close to me. So I don't know if he's like down on the priority list, but it definitely sounds like keep in communication with your store as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know, and for sure, definitely talk to your store, because mine, you know, the kits and whatnot are just called play-at-home kits for the most part, outside of the big prizing one. So my local was just like, oh, I accidentally got too many Empire prizing kits. And I was like, hold on, please don't put this on the shelves yet. Like, just wait. Let me double check and see what you got. And he had gotten like three or four of the Fantastic Four play-at-home kits. So where most of these pieces come from, and he just didn't realize it because it was just, it looked just like the other ones, and it said, it says F4 play-at-home kits or something, which is. Empire also is F4 and Avengers or something, so they look very, very similar. If you just, if you're not very Heroclix savvy and know what's coming, which a lot of store owners don't know that.
Yeah, there's some horror stories about stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, but the play-at-home kit are designed to be just sold like anything else, and then the prize kit is designed to be
like an OP
event thing, but it can also just be sold as well per the new COVID rules of things. So if you see somebody with a whole kit selling it on Facebook, don't go blowing the
chase
horn.
them. Yeah, don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yeah, exactly. So the 4 figures, or the first 4 here: Reed Richards, Alpha. And I would say, just as a mini reminder for this mini set review, we judge these things based on their meta playability or uniqueness that they bring.
Sure. Reed Richards Alpha. What do you think?
So, here's what I like. 6 clicks for 60 with a starting 19 with Super Senses and Cosmic Energy and Fantastic Four and Outwit. That in and of itself, and he's got Fantastic Four Ruler and Scientist, three relevant keywords, right?
I feel like they keep making like really cool Reed Richards that does really, really unique things, but they just never are good enough. You know what I mean? Like, we've got the title reads, like we got Maker, title read. The most recent Empire Super Rare does some interesting things, but it's just like not quite there. Yeah. The Legacy card one that had the crazy giant reach or whatever. Like, they keep coming out with like, oh, here's a really cool idea for Reed Richards, and we're like, yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, that's how I feel for Alpha.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, like, as if you're a Fantastic Four fan, you are now bathing in great OG Fantastic Four teams to play, and that's got to feel really exciting.
This guy's not OG Reed Richards, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to be nice.
The leader of the Council of Richards. That's who this is.
I don't know. I'm just trying to be nice about it, Tylor.
I don't think he's bad.
I don't think he's bad. I just don't think he's good.
I think it could be playable.
Right. So I think here's the problem with me, with it for me, and
the problem with you.
Yeah, the problem with me, right? Yeah, is I just don't like I don't like figures. So the leadership, right? The get a council member takes too long.
2 turns on average, right?
At best.
No, right? If you roll 6, it's 1 turn. No, it's 2 turns.
No, yeah. So at best, it's 2 turns, and that's with a 5/6.
Okay, yeah. Average is 3 turns. Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. Average would be at least 3. Right. I think 2. It would be great. It's never going to be 1. And
yeah. Maybe if it was like you get the whole thing -2, so you get a 4 or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's still taking 2 turns, but on average you'd get it quicker.
Right. Yeah. Any way to guarantee 2 over 3.
Or even 6 could take you 6 turns. That'd suck.
Yeah.
That's all possible. Yeah.
That would be bad.
So when he does finally generate a bystander, Choose a standard attack or damage power and note it. Reed Richards Alpha and the Reed Council member bystanders can use all powers noted this way. So once you create one, let's look at the council members. Their plasticity tend to not. They are autonomous with 4 range, so they're not clapping hard.
No, I mean unless you could pick like range combat expert or something. But even then,
11 for 3 is not clapping too hard.
Right. Yeah. So the goal would be just to like sit back and get a bunch of support powers. You know, if you get 2 out and then you have 3 perplexes and 3 probs, that's pretty good. And a TK and an outwit. He's not easy to kill. He's a 19 to super senses. You can't outwit the super senses. That's kind of nice. Later on, he buffs up and he gets really strong. Right, his last click is really good.
Right. Might be good on a Bizarro Dial Knight for casual.
Could be. Yeah, it's more just on like a team where you sit back and like you're it's not an alpha team. Maybe he fits on something with what's his face? Prime, Pim, robot dude.
Now, you know what? I was getting ready to say that. That's a good thing. I think Reed Richards Alpha would be playable if something to do with the council members generated mission points.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, just something like that. That guy, he's kind of a brick. Same way this is. His range is he's got a 6 reach. This guy's a 4 reach. But if you just sort of sit back there and generate these council members, generate Ultron Pogs, there could be something there. I don't hate him. It's a cool dial.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: how many turns do we typically get in a game? I think this has been obviously a hot, not a hot topic, but like I think it varies. Not enough.
Not enough. I mean, not enough for this guy to be completely relevant.
I think it depends on the type of team you're running, for sure.
Because on this, like you would probably want Reign of Terror, but the consolation does you nothing. So, because you have to roll something in order to get the tokens, and when you have the consolation, you don't even roll; you just succeed. Mm-hmm. So, for me, I'm looking at it thinking, I mean, yeah, 2 turns. There might be something there, but I'm not feeling great about it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're wanting it to be good, but it's like a fart. If you try to force it, it's probably shit.
Wow. Okay. Invisible Woman?
Oh man, Invisible Woman. That 13.5 at 250's got to be good, right?
It's really nice to see Invincible and Perplex on a dial.
That's because this was before they got rid of them.
I don't think it was.
I think it was.
After. These styles are not.
No. I think
Eternal's bad.
No, it's not Eternal's bad, but I think that. Don't quote me here, folks, but I think that this was supposed to come out last summer.
Like in 2020? Well,
no. Last summer was 2021.
2021. Sorry.
I think this was supposed to be a summer OP event. Now, you know what? And Alex, it may have been 20 because
I'm thinking about it.
It feels
I'm
like
at.
Yes, right. It feels like based on the cards that we got and the dials, wasn't this supposed to be the Play for Galactus thing?
Well, I'm also wondering if you look at the sculpts. I feel like they're smaller. Is that crazy? Is that too far back?
I'd have to go back and look. Yeah, they very well could be.
Like they could be potentially the before House of X changed things sculpts. Because remember, it wasn't short. It was shortly after House of X that they banned the powers. It was that April.
Right. So you know what? I bet based on the team up cards that we got, this was supposed to have been the Play for Galactus during 2020, and maybe somebody already knew that, and that was just like common knowledge. But I think this was supposed to have been for 2020.
It could be.
I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. But
right. It doesn't.
It explains why Invincible is here when it's been gone for feels like ever.
Right.
Perplex.
Yeah, I'm perplexed. I do. Oh man, she's at 250. I just you've got to say no, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's not. She doesn't have any like traits or anything cool. Like she has improved targeting, which is nice.
Sorry, that just sounded funny. She doesn't have anything cool.
Well, like
in my head, that just sounded funny.
Her top dial is just a vanilla dial. Like she has a special speed power, but it's basically just knockback damage. It's penetrating. It's cool. It's like nice, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's just it's just the dial. That's all you get with her. It's the dial.
Right.
And then the stats are good, but it's probably not good enough.
Right, and then that stop at 250.
You can't really utilize it because
right.
What are you given for 50 points plus 1 combat values? They're probably already dead, to be honest.
Right.
But
I do.
Interesting.
She's more. Man, because I like bricks, right? I mean, we're going to talk about Thanos soon, right? Mm-hmm. We're not opposed to the brick, to the tent pole, and she definitely has some good stats for 250.
Yeah, better than some things we've seen.
Yeah, and they don't fall off too badly, really.
Like ever, until her stop clicks.
Right. Which
they're kind of supposed to design-wise. I don't mind her at 140. She's not bad. If you compare her to, like, what's that piece that I like? Photon from the new set?
Monica Rambeau, yeah.
Like, she compares pretty favorably to her. She's got 2 stop clicks, she's got a hypersonic, and she has improved target and shoots through a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She's not bad at 140. And then at 65, she's kind of like she's a charge piece. She's a mastermind piece, right? So if you have maybe like a Franklin's masterminding to her or something, and then you give her Franklin +1 stats, that's not bad, right? He's already 11 for 4, he'd be 12 for 5 then.
Right. Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, I guess there is some things in that 140 point category that you could swap her out for, and wouldn't be terrible with the Fantastic Four keyword.
Full dial high evolutionary. People kind of forget about him. He's still pretty good.
Yeah, he's not bad. I'm playing high evolutionary now, and I do miss that he doesn't have flight. That has been an issue to work around.
It is. It is his biggest issue.
Right. But at 65, she seemingly has the most hype.
Yeah, to be like for a stop click, it's when the power's first revealed, not the click. So she doesn't get to give 2 people +1 values. It only triggers once per game. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, she double stop click. She turns kind of into a support piece, perplex, sidestep, TK. It's not awful. Double stop clicks for 65 points.
Right. She doesn't get one quaked. She doesn't get quaked to death by Sky Tyrant.
True. That is true.
So those are.
Yeah, she's okay. I'm not dying to play her.
That's right. Yeah, I don't think so either. And if someone were to say, you know what, and I totally forgot that this was legal for the event, I probably should have had her on the team as a swap on my sideline. Yeah.
Maybe you get that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
On your team, you could mastermind to her and then give Gladiator +1 stats. That's kind of fun.
And then he would have the improved targeting and stuff.
You can improve targeting too. Yeah, that's huge for him.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that was. I probably should have, because that would have given me. I still would have only had VVD, and but that's a sudden realization, and because she's just as hard to KO as Franklin Von Doom.
Would you have had the points? I got it.
I do, because Franklin's 70, so I got 100 points. So 100 points is my swap. So
you're talking about obviously the 65 point version, right?
That's right. Yeah. Just to have the same thing as Franklin, but Franklin's also given me a prob and an outwit and a TK. So
Yeah, it's just kind of different.
She doesn't quite have those things. But, you know, if I go second, I think if I go second, she would have been a good choice. So
Yeah.
maybe if I ever play this team I'm playing again, I will definitely include her.
Cool.
The Thing.
Thing uses Fantastic Four team ability. He heals 2 instead, otherwise he can't be healed. What does that even do? It's when somebody dies with that team ability, right?
That's right, yeah.
So that's something. He's got double stock clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Stock clicks only have toughness, though, which is sad. I wish they had impervious. Poison of another friendly character named The Thing hits. The Thing can use Flurry. It's most likely not happening unless you're running 2 of this guy, or maybe the dad thing and one of his things dies.
Wait a minute, if another... so you got to play... So, like, Dad Thing and...
This guy.
Yeah, okay. I don't hate that.
Nope. It's Fantastic Four. He's got Monster. He's probably not played on... He's probably only played on a Fantastic Four team, I would think, to make use of the trait. But it stays a charge piece. He's got 2 stop clicks, which is something. His great stats, right? 12 for 4.
Right, but if you're playing it with, we've got some transporters for Fantastic Four. We got Lockjaw coming up, right? So
True.
It's not like this guy's completely immobile. He doesn't have Battle Fury, so that's a positive for him.
Now, is there... Well, no, they got to be KO'd, right?
Yeah.
The Thing has to be KO'd?
No. Another Fantastic Four team ability user has to be KO'd.
No, I'm talking about his Flurry thing, not the heal thing.
Yeah, another friendly character
kid
named The Thing
named
has
The
to
Thing.
hit.
Huh. Okay.
I don't hate it.
I mean, there might be something there.
Right.
It's a swarm thing team, because those deep cut things are only 20 points with a stop click.
Mm-hmm.
I
feel
mean,
like that's what... I feel like this is almost every Fantastic Four piece we have. None of them are like bad, but they're not great. They're pretty good. That's how I feel about all of them. Like, none of them are just like, you can't really write it off. You might play it on a Fantastic Four team, but I'm not super excited about it.
Right. I mean, you're definitely. I think he definitely makes the cut for a Fantastic Four swap team. And I think what we have learned here, the three of us, is, we don't discount things. What? That's a joke. We don't discount figures anymore because of the viability of swap.
You don't.
Well, now, because here's the thing, and it might only be Nate White, right? Right, and that's fair. But Nate's a good player, so you got to think about this. Am I going to a tournament that Nate's going to be in? And so if that is yes, then prize thing here, play at home thing. How do you fight it?
Well, you are also playing Fantastic Four swap.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say too.
Yeah,
you're right there playing it also. So I mean, it's
not the full thing, obviously, but you have Fantastic Four pieces that are swapping.
Right. Only because I want to get other things with Gladiator, but yes.
You have 6 total Fantastic Four pieces on your team, right?
No, just 2.
2 on main force, and then
they swap.
You have 4 swap options.
I have 4 swap. You gotta make me look at my build sheet now. I didn't have my build sheet prepped in yet.
I think you have Franklin, and then VVD as well as.
Yeah, I have Franklin. No, I just have 4. Yeah, Franklin, VVD, High Evo, and Franklin Richards. Mm-hmm. And then 2.
I like Franklin Richards.
I do. I have a matchup I probably am going to use him with. So.
Okay. And I've been toying around with. I mean, I haven't gotten that far with Avengers because I really wasn't originally intending to play it for this tournament, and then I just kind of decided, why the heck not?
But let's save it. Let's save that. We're going to talk about our team.
No. I know, but all I was meaning was Fantastic Four was an option that I haven't explored yet for that team.
Right.
So
that's true.
That's what, and part of that is what you were saying, Tyler. It's not quite there. I guess. I guess there wasn't enough pieces. I guess for me to say, "Ooh, wow." So yeah. I think Thing though is a little bit underrated. Just because he's 60 points with 2 stop clicks. I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, I don't want to discount him just because he's a charge piece. Because if you win map and you have a transporter piece on your Fantastic Four swap out team, this guy can get hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Human Torch.
This guy kind of dates the set because he says when you carry characters a shared keyword, he does not modify speed value. So he was supposed to release before the rules changed.
Yeah, so I guess
there we go. There's the answer.
There's the 2020. Yeah, this was the storyline OP to go with Galactus. Yeah,
that makes sense. Man, these pieces would have been really good if they were released back then.
You know, they would have been, but like, here's the thing: what changed between 20 and 21 was flyers couldn't carry flyers. Mm-hmm. So, like, Invisible Woman, we'd have been like, oh, yeah, you can't pack her around. Why does she fly? Well, now it doesn't even matter, right? Because now we're like, this guy can just carry everybody. Everybody can carry everybody.
This guy, he has the Inhumans keyword. Or he makes characters starting force with the Inhumans keyword gain the Fantastic Four team ability. That is relevant because, right, aren't there Inhumans that have the gems? You can put gems on Fantastic Four teams.
There's a Black Bolt or something, but
yeah,
they're about to go away at some point. There's not much on Inhumans, and not even there is a relevant one, but they already have Fantastic Four.
You can get there is some things that are relevant potentially, right? You can get Medusa with the Pog. But like Alex saying, they are going away. And of course, Black Bolt for the reality or space gem. But they're most likely going away. Most likely.
Yeah. The Human Torch is not good. This one's not good. I think I can say that.
Well, once again. This is kind of this is what. What?
I wanted to say this one isn't good.
This one isn't good.
Yeah, no, this one isn't good. I was going to agree with you and then say this falls in line with, once again, I feel like another character that WizKids just hasn't made a crazy good one. Like, anytime a Human Torch comes out, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he always kind of gets the short end of the stick, I feel like.
Other than the other than the keyword manipulation, it doesn't really help.
Like right now, if you were to say what is the most like meta Human Torch, it would be the 20-point deep cuts one that just has a stock click and you use them for enhancement and mastermind fodder.
And barrier.
To be clear, that one is really
barrier.
Good. That's a really good piece.
That's
right,
really good.
But that's not Human Torch. Like when you think of Human Torch, you're like, oh yeah, I use him to make one barrier and a stop click and enhancement.
Yeah. Barrier. He's a running shot.
But that's Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that is true.
Doctor Doom. This one's
wait
weird.
a minute. This is bringing me to a question.
Mm-hmm.
What? So that. Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm reading this right because y'all just correct me if I'm wrong. But
I will.
I know. Annihilating Conqueror would just mess that up, right? If you were trying to bring in Black Bolt and you played against a Annihilating Conqueror.
If you're playing against a Black Bolt,
because it Annihilating.
Yes,
Conqueror,
you can't swap up. Yeah, you can't swap them out. Yeah, absolutely.
If you lose one.
Yeah.
Oh no, man, that's so like. That just bones over the double Steve Rogers Avengers stuff.
It doesn't if you don't ever try to switch them out. You have to build your team.
Yeah,
we'll get to that when I talk about the team. But
that's true. Sorry. I just realized that, and like because I'm not playing Doom this time, so and there's not been like a Spider-Man swap that I've ever had to face. There's no such. I mean, you know what I mean? Like there's not a Spider-Man swap out team.
Yeah, it's definitely something that made me decide certain things on my team.
I got you. Okay, that's fair enough. So, Interesting. Sorry, that was an interesting aside that I was just thinking about. I was like, what is the timing on a Conqueror? And its timing doesn't matter if you win or lose map. It would screw you from removing pieces from your team. So.
Yep.
All right. So the prize, Dr. Doom. Is this now? I get that is this a King Shazam situation? It's a charge piece with up to 6 giant reach. Okay.
That's kind of fun.
All right. Okay, that's not bad. He's got Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Super Senses traded. That's not bad. It is 100 points for 6 clicks. That's not great.
It's not, but he has Invincible to hold the Unoutwittable Invincible to hold dial, so that helps.
Okay. When he uses Blades and Super Senses, place a D6. When he uses either power after resolutions, you may replace the result of that D6 on the card. When he uses that, you may once per turn replace the die in the result for the D6 with the D6 on this card.
Yeah, so if like you roll a 5 or 6 on Blades, you got to put that on dial, getting a guaranteed Super Senses. If you roll a 5 or 6 on Super Senses, next turn you're Blades in for 5 or 6. It's kind of
Side note, another point in the category. This is before rules change. It says protected outwit.
Yeah,
as opposed to safeguard outwit.
Yeah, true.
If it was post rules, it would have said safeguard outwit, like everything does now.
True.
But anyway,
gotcha.
And if you get a bad roll, you can remove it to heal him. That's relevant. I don't. If he was 75, he's overcosted. I feel like.
If he was 60.
I don't know about that. He is hard to kill, right? He's got Super Senses and Invincible.
The problem is, though, the Invincible chains, they don't take a max 3.
That is true.
So, like, a 6/6 hits him really hard.
Yeah.
And you can outwit the Super Senses. So he's not power cosmic.
Right.
So with an out, I mean,
he have ways to heal. He's got Minions of Doom also, which can heal.
Yeah, I just don't think he's playable. I mean, he can't be swapped out.
Which is sad that's now the requirement for certain pieces to be playable. Like
now's the
in today's age, it's like, well, it's a benefit and a curse, right? Like the benefit is a lot of pieces that haven't been good in a while are now able to come back, but now we hold everything to, well, can it be swapped out, because that mitigates some of this concern, and that's
right.
I guess
if I'm forced to play with this Dr. Doom, I'm not doing it. Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know a time I would build with it.
That's right.
Yeah,
no.
I think he's overcosted.
Yeah. So the Silver Surfer. All right. So the Silver Surfer had a really long trait that Silver Surfer starts the game with 4 light tokens, free. Remove a light token, and Silver Surfer can use Pulse Wave. Then he gains knockback. When he uses knockback, he may place them up to 6 squares away instead of 3. All right, so at 75, he's got Charge Pulse Wave, so that's not great.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
This references the new rules, right? Because in the new rules,
so they could have updated the card.
Maybe. That's weird.
Right. So I guess it depends on. So like, how do I want to say this? Right. Like, so Dr. Doom, like as an example, has a general errata already for protected outwit to become safeguard. So you don't need to reprint his card because that's a cost. That it costs money to change his card. But Silver Surfer, if he just had the old school kind of knockback, like he may have had to have an errata right out of the gate, so they just preemptively printed a new card for him.
Maybe, yeah. Or it could have been a mixture, like we were taught. Like some of these pieces were made, and then they made a couple more. or something. Like it's hard to tell. It's something that's like it'd be interesting to find out, but ultimately doesn't matter.
That's true. We like to know we want to know what's behind the curtain at the Wizard of Oz. Okay, that's interesting for me at least.
I don't like this Silver Surfer.
I don't either, because the light token, it says they can't use prob and they can't reduce damage below 1, so it's like a worse. It's like precision strike.
Yeah, it's precision strike.
Yeah.
You can't use prob, which is nice. You can, but that's only when you. Oh, it's when you close attack, so you can't do pulse wave with that, which would be cool because it's like precision strike pulse wave. Can't do that. So it's just a charge blaze piece with 10 attack.
Right, and then his stop click is he can't be healed. When his power is first revealed, remove all light tokens to heal another friendly character that many clicks.
Which is like great. It's a good stop click. It's super senses, shape change, 12 attack. Pen sound.
Man, what if the deep cuts Silver Surfer? No, I'm thinking. What if the deep cuts Human Torch had that stop click?
Better.
That would be better. All right, let's move into the first team up card.
Team up.
Team up, and I drank 20 ounces of water right before the show, so I gotta go pee real quick. So y'all talk about that first team up.
All right.
He gives us the crappy ones. He's like, here's the crappy team up cards.
This one is if Mr. Fantastic is on a Fantastic Four team, he has Passenger 3, but only characters with the Fantastic Four keyword.
So the problem is looking at this on rounds. I don't know which. I assume that's from the Fantastic Four set. Yes. Oh yeah, they put it on the figure. So if you go to the actual figure in the Fantastic Four set from July 2020, 001 Mr. Fantastic has that team up card. So he's 40 points, plasticity, super senses, leadership. He can now carry 3 people if they have the Fantastic Four team up card.
We will discover later we do not need a Fantastic Four taxi, so this is not going to be used.
Yes, it is pointless. And 9 with no sidestep is meh.
Yeah.
Like, whoopee.
For Black Panther, which is the same set, 013.
A.
Okay.
Yeah, not Black Leopard. It'd be awesome if it was Black Leopard. But
friendly characters with the Fantastic Four keyword can use Precision Strike. That's fine.
That's better.
I'm playing this guy, though.
Nope.
Then we have Human Torch. I think for that same set, 19.
I will confirm.
Team,
yes.
when an opposing character moves through or adjacent to one or more squares that has a hindering terrain. When an opposing character moves in or through
or adjacent to one or more squares.
Okay, through or adjacent. That has a hindering terrain marker generated by Human Torch. After resolutions, deal that character 1 damage. Does he have Smoke Cloud?
He has, when Human Torch moves after the resolution of each move, because he has Hypersonic, you may immediately generate a hindering terrain marker in a square he moved through. At the beginning of your next turn, remove those markers. So
it feels like y'all have skipped ahead.
No,
we're on the third one. The fourth one.
All right, so let me guess. Mr. Fantastic was awful and Black Panther was awful?
Right.
Yes.
This one's kind of cool because of the way that the squares work. So if I hypersonic, like next to you, attack you, and then move away, I can place this next to you. If I can place a hindering square next to you, and then if you move at all, you are moving through a square that is adjacent to this square, so you take a damage. So if you move at all, you'll take a damage.
I mean, there might be a combo with mind control too, because it doesn't say on their turn. So I mean, if you mind control somehow, attack and then move them through the square or out of the square, that should still activate, I think.
Yeah, it will. I just don't think that Fantastic or that Human Torch is that good.
No, it's not. It's just better than the previous 2 that we've talked about.
That's true. Yeah. It's true. And he can be swapped. Hey.
So this one is Team Up, Ghost Rider, Red Hulk, and Venom. If one or more listed friendly characters are on the map, X-23, which is who this is for, and the listed friendly characters have Safeguard Mystic's team ability and can reduce penetrating damage dealt by opposing characters with the monster keyword. And that is very specific.
And doesn't this X-20, because they're the hunters,
Right, yeah. They all this shit.
Yeah, the crappy part, which Dan I think was about to say, was X23 has no reducers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you got it, Alex. Yeah, I'm like, she has no reducers.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. She has toughness. It's traded. Traded
okay.
toughness.
That's
All right, this is what we've been waiting for, guys. This is the Blackheart Killer.
She has, on click 2, she's not bad. Flurry, sidestep, stealth. Beginning of return of X23 is 2 action tokens, healer.
If I remember right, I didn't mind any of those pieces. They were all okay, but
yeah, it doesn't have Blade on the list, so I'm not interested. Give me Blade that has Safeguard Mystics and can reduce penetrating. Then I'm game for Super Monster Killer Blade.
sure.
right.
But otherwise,
He ignores mystics.
sure.
So, Frightful 4. So this is the one for the wizard, right? Which
The wizard.
is
That is a swap. That's a swap nobody talks about.
It is a swap. It's also not that great. But theme team up Frightful 4. Now the only problem is that they are what's it called? You still have to be Highlander,
Terrible?
right? You have to be
Terrible?
Highlander, right? So
Yeah.
okay, so you get to pick one on the sideline that.
It's not a switch in, right?
No, it's
Am
not
I
a.
reading it?
Well, so you can swap with Frightful 4.
Yeah.
And the wizard is not a terrible piece. Okay, he is terrible.
Who on the Frightful 4 has the swap? Or are you saying the Fantastic?
The Frightful 4 is a swap team.
This wizard has formed the new Frightful 4.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like they put the wrong. Never mind. It's fine.
But you get
Super
to
Scroll's Frightful 4?
Yeah. I'm
so
looking at the wrong one.
You get Super Scroll, but I guess if you get the OG members, you get to do things like opposing characters modify damage -1 when making a close target that attacks a friendly character with the Frightful 4 keyword, or you get like Prime Punisher, who says friendly characters with the Frightful 4 keyword deal penetrating damage to opposing characters with 2 action tokens, and you get to change that at the beginning of your turn.
I don't know, guys. This Frightful 4 has Dragon Man, so clearly it's good because we got Dragon Man.
So I mean, here's the thing: is that it probably doesn't make it playable. Let's be honest.
It's cool for casual.
It's extremely cool for casual or even like competitive casual events.
Prime Wizard.
It's not the Prime one; it's the non-Prime one.
It's a rare one.
Prime
It's
Wizard
rare,
has Frightful 4.
right?
But that means you can't use the team up.
Yeah, and so some of the traits, though, the key thing is the traits that the Frightful 4 would bring in. That's the whole reason you would even play this, and even those aren't amazing. Because the wizard would ultimately use it, and he's not bad at 75. He's not great.
No,
like-
a lot of those traits go for the whole team.
Yeah.
Those traits help your entire Frightful 4 team.
Yeah, unique modifier opposing characters modify damage -1, making a range attack that targets 1+ friendly characters with the Frightful 4 keyword, as an example.
Then I'm really confused what this thing
You get to
does.
use all of the ones on your main force, and then this one lets you also use one from your sideline that you swapped out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's right.
They're all not that great though. Like the Frightful
Correct.
4, like the Energy Shield one from Claw is okay. He gives everybody Energy Shield. Okay.
I just think that. So
and
here-
then Medusa gives Shape Change. So
Right. So here's what I think is that it's something that's new, right? Because traits are very powerful within Heroclix rules, right? You can't outwit traits. Very few things ever come along to get rid of traits, right? So the fact that you're able to play a game with the traits is a very powerful interaction, even if it's only playing with little sidewalk poppers. Does that make sense?
sure. I think this
It's like you got a full Infinity Gauntlet but instead of you're loading up with Infinity Stones, you've loaded up with Sweet Tarts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting analogy. I think this will be really good for everyone's holiday events, like Halloween, where maybe Frightful 4 is one of your keywords you have to build with for a Halloween local event, but that's probably
that's right.
Probably it.
So Ghost Rider, Hulk, Wolverine.
You have to play 001 Spider-Man from Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Which I don't even remember that figure.
It's the it's the not that great of one.
But if you have that Spider-Man, a Ghost Rider, a Hulk, and a Wolverine, all 4 of them get to use Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men, and Mystic Steam ability. That's a very powerful effect.
Yep.
And there are maybe even good Ghost Rider Hulks and Wolverines.
So too bad it does not apply for Immortal Hulk. Let's just be clear. So but there is decent Ghost Riders. Namely the Prime one from that set.
Mm-hmm. Wolverine has a lot of stuff.
Wolverine has a lot of one, and then Hulk is the other one.
Yeah, Hulk is harder.
Man, is that hard? Is that bad to say that Hulk's the weak link in those combo of characters these days?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. There's never really been that strong of a Hulk.
Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, Hulk was arguably probably one of the strongest, right?
He was good. But there was also the End Hulk. He's also popular for a while. I don't remember what it actually was called.
Yeah, the Titan Hulk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's funny. I just find that a little bit humorous that in the game, right, out of all of those characters, the Hulk, who is typically strongest in the comics, is the weakest in Heroclix and out of all of those right now.
Well, it's because he's a default charge piece, but you want to give him more, but that's probably hard to balance. Even Immortal Hulk does a ton of things, but the meta has evolved past him.
Right. So
it's hard because you don't want to make him overpowered because he's a lot harder to balance, I think.
Right.
If you make him actually like he is, insanely difficult to kill. So.
So the Invisible Woman with 3 or more sidekicks. Okay, if they already have Passenger 1, they get Passenger 2.
And if they just get Passenger 1.
Or they just get Passenger 1.
All sidekicks.
Huh.
And captains.
And captains.
Which one is this one? This is really hard to follow. Yeah, this is really hard to follow.
Well, the thing is I mean, we know that none of these team up card pieces are really good.
Oh, right. Fantastic Four Future Foundation. It's Uncommon 19 Future Foundation.
That's right. So, it's like with sidekicks and mission points. They have been too afraid to make them too powerful.
I think,
and
this is a very powerful sidekick effect.
Yeah, this is actually playable.
Well, this is a very powerful sidekick effect. The problem it is very hard to play a sidekick team that is Highlander because you want to play multiple sidekicks.
That's right. You can't play multiple. You can't play an army of Vic and Mills.
Right, which is very sad because a sidekick team you preferably want to play probably 3 meeks at this point. So that's very hard to do.
I was talking with I think PJ or someone about this over just general things they just need to lift the restrictions on. And I feel like this is one of them. I feel like they just need to lift the restrictions on the team up Highlander rule. I'm sure there are scenarios that could be bad. Sure. But I feel like no one is playing team ups. Outside of Alyssa playing Starjammers.
That was the only one I've ever seen.
Outside of that, no one plays it. So just they need to say, okay, yeah, it's we was a little too concerned over it. It's not that big of a deal. Let's just lift the restriction. And that's how I feel about title characters and replacements. That was the one thing I said is they should just allow title characters to be replaced at this point because no one is playing any title characters because they can't be replaced a majority of the time. Mother would be played all the time if she could just be replaced.
I think title characters, it's a little weird because it would be hard to keep track of the points if you're swapping them out and back in. I think that's the only reason for that. But I agree with this for sure. Like just a blanket errata.
It feels like in the same vein of like they went conservative because they were worried about it being too powerful. Mm-hmm. Same with team ups. Like they're like, oh, we got all these ideas for team ups, and we don't want any of them to get a little out of hand. Same with title characters. I think they started with those. They cut them back a bit because they were too powerful, but now they're just too underleveled. And this is kind of like a game design, I guess, mindset I'm having. And so it's like I feel like, okay, it's now feeling a little too conservative for some of these. Same with team ups. Like they should just kind of let it go a little bit, because I don't know of a lot of examples where it's like, oh, you could play multiple Wolverines on one of these type of teams, and that's just going to ruin everyone's day. Like that would make team up cards actually playable.
Yeah, there would be a few that would just be like, now I can use this, and it's kind of cool. Probably like some Emmas. There's some Magnetos that are kind of cool with it, but nothing breaks. So I agree for sure. Yeah. Right now as is, it's so hard to play because it's so hard to play Highlander. Cause,
I agree. Now Terex.
This might be the most playable one.
No, it's not. It's awful.
I think the last one was the most playable.
I think this one might
be because it says power KO. Here's the problem. Terex if he's on a Herald theme team, power KO all opposing bystanders within range and line of fire. The problem is the most powerful bystander piece right now spits them out and sucks them back up.
And
so it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
It's range and line of fire. So best case scenario in an actual game, you're killing 3 things. Best case scenario. There's no way someone is going to surround this guy with 8 bystanders. So if it wasn't line of fire, it would be better. But even then, Dan's right. If it was a free action, even then it wouldn't be good because you have to play this Terex on a Herald team. So,
but funny thing though,
but that does get you Fire Lord. So that's not the worst thing I've ever heard of. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, no, there are good Herald pieces. There's even good Herald teams out there. This guy does not go on.
Does Herald the one that like Chip and Guy Gardner and Exodus has? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So yeah, oh man, imagine if we had Herald swap.
But you have to play this guy who is not good, right?
Isn't it interesting how the benching of powers has made this guy look a little better? He's still not good. But, like, I wish we had pieces now that were 100 points, 8 clicks, that had Invincible and a stop click.
That's true.
That's what I feel about it. And unoutwittable.
This guy is Quake and Giant Reach 3. That kills all of the bonks anyway. It's the same thing.
And anytime he hits somebody, when he uses Quake, you make a blocking terrain next
to him.
What
the fuck's a lot of fire?
Like... He already has that ability.
Oh, that's funny. Oh gosh.
So Team of Card is by far the best.
Oh man, that's just I get it. I love it. I mean, I get that these are like, participation prizes and but like from a competitive standpoint, it's just funny that this guy he fights himself. He fights himself to do the thing. Yeah.
All right. Legacy cards.
All right, so we're going to skip Lockjaw because he's at the end.
For no apparent reason.
Lockjaw. Can we just talk? Why are we skipping him?
Because I want to go through the easy ones first. That's my thought.
This is easy though.
Okay.
Well, no, all right, fine. Let's go. Let's do it Dan's way. Right. He wants to. That's fine. It's okay.
That's just my suggestion.
Let's talk about Red Shift.
I agree with that. All right,
Red Shift.
We do not have to talk about Red Shift because he's not that good.
Hey, kudos to when did they do this? Kudos to HC Realms. Like you get linked units and you can click on it and it takes you to the old one.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before. So new feature.
That is cool. But no, he's not playable.
So hypersonic, he has blades.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, not good. All right, Mole Man. So I listen to TikTok a lot, right? And There's a sound where it's it's like it just says they fucking took his eye. If you don't watch TikTok, you don't understand. But I have to at least say that for the folks that do watch TikTok.
This guy, it's very sad because this guy used to be able.
I love this guy though.
He's good. He's not
hilarious.
Yeah, he is hilarious.
He can carry freaking Wendigos everywhere.
He can carry Surters.
Like Passenger 6, which you can't carry that many because you run into size limitation. Yeah. But how hilarious is it to see a team with this little mole man back there, 4 Wendigos, and he's like, whoop-a-doo, moving up 8, and see these big old colossals all of a sudden move up. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I do
good
like
for
that.
Onslaught. Onslaught's monster.
Oh, as opposed to Onslaught moving himself further.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, that's a thing.
There are teams with this. He's not bad. He's a good character.
But the fact that he used to the fact that he used to be able to mind control friendlies with the new powers of mind control.
Yes, the old one is better than the new one.
What could have been is much better than what we got. So let's just get that out of the way. So what were you going to say?
So there are teams like you play 2 of this guy, right? You TK 1 up, and then you carry 4 Wendigos up with this guy, and then you carry 4 Wendigos up with the other guy. You're 16 squares out. You place them 2 out, and then you deal damage somehow through a Sky Tyrant, like free Magneto, free TK Sky Tyrant, and Sky Tyrant charges to get wounded tokens.
Or Scarab. Scarab, maybe.
Or Scarab, yep. And then now all of your Wendigos can sidestep attack, and then maybe you play the other Mole Man. They give them 1 movement, and then they get to move 1 in attack. There are things out there.
Potential. There's definitely potential. He's at 40. He's just now a taxi. It's all the old people that remember yonder years. And if you take that away and just look at him blanket, 40 points for 60 passenger that could carry any size.
That's true.
Like that's huge.
I don't disagree, Alex. I'm with you, but they fucking took his eye.
Okay.
Well, that's way funnier to me because I listen to a lot of TikToks. So
and like Tylor alluded to, we know Surtur is coming back from the Scott Porter videos, and then did Ymir have monster? Yeah, he did too. Ymir was a monster as well. We don't know what they do yet, but we're getting 2 colossal.
Neuter Surtur.
Yeah, we're getting 2 colossal monsters back.
Did you just say neuter Surtur?
Yeah, they're gonna neuter Surtur.
Oh, did you say that they are going to neuter Surtur, or that you want them to neuter Surtur?
They are going to neuter Surtur.
I have no idea. So I guess
I don't think
find
they need
out
to,
soon.
right? We have that other Fulcrum that everybody said was better than Surtur, and everybody plays him now.
Yep, fully come Surtur.
Well, that's because of keywords mostly.
Yeah,
also, like just robot is what Justice League and robot like.
Right.
So speaking of robots,
this guy's a robot. I didn't even know that.
Airwalker.
This guy's not bad.
So for 100, no, he is.
Okay.
Because
I'm sorry.
I asked you. No. I was waiting for your answer on this one. Because in the Empire set, there was a dude that you ran through his squishy dial, and then he came back on click 1, and you had to run through his squishy dial again, and you said it was not any good.
Okay, I don't remember who you're talking about.
In Empire?
Was that guy 18 clicks long?
He was 50 less points for like 12.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, I'll go look.
Okay, because the other person I remember is Ricky Barnes, and I like her.
No, hold on.
This guy, like, he's got 10 range. He's got hypersonic with a range combat expert, which works now. So he's hypersonicking for 10 with 12 attack, 4 damage, and 10 range, 2 targets. It's not bad. The problem is he after click 4 and on, maybe click 5 and on when he gets to the 9 attack, is pretty useless. So you kind of just get him there and ignore him. That's the problem with him mainly. But if you're running him with like a robot that has Mastermind, I wonder who that could be, right? Then you can just Mastermind to 18 clicks to this guy.
He can be equipped though. So
Yep,
I mean,
he can be equipped.
you can mitigate some things.
Yep, he can be healed. He's not bad. He keeps high attack pretty off, or high defense, high damage. Sorry, pretty deep.
I can't find a piece now.
Then it doesn't exist, and you're a liar.
No, well, that is unlikely, but we talked about it, and you were like, "No, that's terrible."
It probably was. Do you think this guy's terrible? I don't think he's terrible. He probably doesn't see.
Oh,
play,
the super rare Marvel.
Super rare Marvel. He does. He just has the living legend trait.
Okay, there was somebody else that was close.
But anyway,
all right.
He's a herald, so you can play him with Terrax,
and
and then have Chip carry him. And man, now you got a stew brewing.
He's got 10 range dual target energy explosion with range combat expert. That's pretty cool.
Sure, it's not bad. It honestly isn't bad. It's just not great. Like it's a. I will say this: it's a legacy card that people might play, but probably not on a meta team. Probably more lower.
More lower. Okay.
More lower.
That's fine. So Doom bot.
This is real quick. This is the OG Doom. This is the first Doom. I have this Doom. It's awesome. I loved this.
From clobbering time per
That's
HC
right.
Realms.
The third set. It was Infinity Challenge, Explosion, Clobbering Time. I started in Clobbering Time. I pulled this Doom. Sorry. When Doombot hits after resolutions, generate a Doombot bystanders. Wait, when Dr. Doom hits after resolutions, yeah. So he has to hit for it, which is sad. Doombots are 9 energy. I think this is the Doombot from Clobbering Time. Let me.
It has no keywords with leadership, so that's something.
Yeah, this is the same dial as the veteran Clobbering Time Doombot, which is awesome. That you could play this guy with. Yeah, so you have to hit to generate those things. And then he just has plain Mastermind that can be outwitted. So, and he's 175 points. He's got no rollouts, no reducers, top dial. His stats start great and then drop off real fast. He's got 10 range energy explosion. His thing is when Dr. Doom bottomizes his attack and defense by X, where X is the number of his Doombot bystanders on the map. Dr. Doom gains an additional bolt of 2 or more. So you want to get 3 of these out, and then your +3 attack and defense. That shores up a lot of his problems later on in the dial.
As does the next trait.
Yep. Free KO one of Dr. Doom's Doombot bystanders. If you did, place Dr. Doom in the square they last occupied and heal a number of clicks equal a number of Doombot bystanders on your force. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So you could like move one out and then free kill it and place this guy up, and then you could running shot or do something cool like that. You could also play him with the current Doombots to give him like pseudo Mastermind and protected outwit because he has Latveria and a ruler. But he's probably not good.
Right.
I mean, he does technically theme with Jean Grey.
Sure.
So you could technically do that to Doombots if you want to spend 250 points on that.
He's a fun piece. I like it.
Is it sad though? It's just like he's that many points.
What Jean Grey are you talking about?
The one that you can mind control. So just give him the Liar Ring. She has ruler.
True.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
So you could technically do that. The problem is he's 175 and he doesn't have Power Cosmic or Cosmic Energy.
Right.
Like,
you can just outwit his Mastermind. That's why I think if you play him, you have to play the new Doombots for the like pseudo mind control type thing.
Isn't it weird also? Another weird thing, we're kind of talking about that with game design, that like once you reach a certain point threshold, you just have to have that. I feel like you pass 150, I feel like you almost have to have Cosmic Energy to be
I think that makes
playable.
sense.
I think if you pass like 100 now.
But not 75-point Goblin King though. I'm never gonna let that die. Never let that die.
All right, the other Doctor Doom that makes mosquitoes.
Yeah, he's kind of cool too. Free generate a mosquito, max 3. So it's just free generate. That's kind of cool. The mosquitoes are okay. They're hypersonic, 10 attack, 1 damage, but they have exploit. They're also tiny. They're really easy to kill, but he just makes them for free every turn. And then he has, hold on, I clicked off of him. His other trait, controlling microfiber tattoos. When Dr. Doom or a mosquito bystander hits, give each hit opposing character a tattoo token. So whenever him or his mosquito. Dr. Doom modifies his attack plus X when targeting characters with a tattoo token, and modifies his defense by plus X when attacked by a character with a tattoo token, where X is the number of characters with tattoo tokens. It's a little confusing, but if they have 3 characters with tattoo tokens, even if they each have 1, if he attacks them, he gets +3. If they attack him, he gets +3. So what you ideally want to do with this guy is, TK him out there, running shot, pulse wave their whole team. They all have a tattoo token. You can't get rid of them at all. There's no way to get rid of them. So then if you do it to their whole team is, you get +3 defense and +3 attack whenever you do anything.
Right?
Someone should just play a team that just gives out so many different tokens. Just to confuse people. Dr. Doom with alchemical fire, with Wendigos, with so you've got a tattoo, fire, and wounded token.
Yeah.
Just try to freak people out. Like, what do these do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's kind of cool. But probably not meta. I like all these guys, but they're not. I like them because I remember playing these pieces.
Right. And then the 90-point Fire Lord that created the no actions after taxi guy.
And now they have let him do something after being taxied.
Right. But only once per game.
Yep.
13,
so it's
13
Cosmic
for
Energy.
3.
Right. With Range Combat Expert. So he just has regen is free, so he regens every turn. That's kind of nice. He's 10 clicks long for 90 points. And then he has the once per game free make an attack using his printed combat. So you can't use Range Combat Expert with that. He's 13 attack. He has Range Combat Expert, Energy Explosion. He has Barrier, which is super, super useful. From click 3 to 4, he drops from 16 defense to 13 defense for no reason. He was 18, 17, 16, 13. Okay. I don't think this guy's good. And
No.
I don't like it.
I love that it's a throwback, though.
Yes, that's why I like all these pieces.
Yes, I mean, that is definitely a huge throwback.
They did a really good job. These are popular characters in the past, and they stayed true to them.
Right.
But they've also modernized them pretty well, I think.
Exactly.
So they had to stay true to them as far as dials go, because they
but
can't
so
change any dials.
Well, like this guy, they gave him, he can do something after he's carried. The Dr. Doom can generate the Doom bots that he was played with originally, right? Lockjaw, they gave him Lamp, they gave him Mastermind.
Spoiler.
True.
We haven't got
he's next. But I just think that, even in the context of the game, they've stayed true to how they were played in the past, which is cool.
Right. So Lockjaw, which is also our first question from Armando. Is Lockjaw with the Lasso of Truth the new hotness? So let's just keep that in mind.
Yeah,
it's possible.
I'm just imagining a dog with a lasso in his mouth, just trying to try to throw the lasso around someone, and that would explain why he would miss.
Right,
man. Lockjaw is such a lovable character. Just everything about it. Everybody loves Lockjaw.
Right. So what I would say as far as that first one, right? So that's his trait. When Lockjaw attacks, miss targets gain immobile until your next turn. So that would be like the same thing as like Harley Quinn from Wonder Woman, right? If you give her the lasso, right? If she hits, they get a token. If they miss, if she misses, they get a token. So either way, they're getting a token.
Yeah.
But in this case, right, either they get a token or they gain immobile, right? So you get something. Yeah.
And it's a little different because this guy is a hyper taxi, so he's going to be moving up adjacent, and you might as well get a free attack when you do that.
Right.
I don't mind it. I just don't like. I don't like paying points for a 30-point piece. I don't like investing in them more.
Yeah,
because they're just gonna die.
I would seemingly agree with you there.
But it is a cool combo. There are other ways to do that, right? No, that was the one. You can do wall to arms, I guess, technically, but don't do that. I thought there was a 5-point piece. Oh no, it was. I'm forgetting now. What the Joker thing? What was it called?
The
present.
Land.
The present. No, the present.
The Christmas present.
That's why I loved that, because it gave you a free attack, and nobody believed me.
And nobody ever played
before
it.
the time. Yeah,
That's
you were
right.
before the times. You just, our kid, they're just not ready for it yet.
Yeah, there's a similar thing with. Never mind. Too tangent. This guy has 2 other traits. Mass teleport. He has passenger 1, passenger 4, but only characters he shares keyword with. He has 14 movement phasing that he can do that with, which is crazy.
Animal, Fantastic Four, and Inhumans.
Yep. So Animal and Fantastic Four. He's got loyal companion, fierce protector, friendly adjacent characters that share a keyword, can use mastermind, but only to target Lockjaw. He's 8 clicks long for 30 points. The first 4 have toughness. His stats are awful, except for speed, but who cares?
Right.
Yep.
I agree. So,
Which is why, real quick, that's why I'm okay with doing lasso on him. Like,
right, because you're gonna.
he's 8 clicks. Like, if he was like high evolutionary, has a stop click and is 30, right, or is he 40?
30.
30.
Well,
like
he's 40 on my team because of my swap math, but yeah.
Yeah, 30. For him, I'm like, 2 hits kills him, and Lockjaw, sure, but you've got to do a lot to kill him. Like 8 clicks is enough for me to say, sure, I'll spend 10 more points to try this cool thing that, we've talked about Immobile before being kind of a little underrated, because I think it does have a lot of potential. But
you run into the problem where you're kind of building against yourself too. You generally don't want to make your mastermind pieces more valuable, because then you don't want people to attacking your mastermind pieces. That's the whole point of a mastermind piece, right? If they can just attack this guy because of you've made him a threat now, he's a 14 attack. He's super or defense. Sorry, 14 defense. He's super easy to kill. So it's a little bit of that. It's not bad. It's just I think that there might be better ways to spend the points.
I think, though, like you said, I mean, he's moving up in their face for the most part, and he just adds for certain teams maybe something. It depends, because Immobile obviously favors close range more than long range, because obviously if you're immobilized and you're long range, then you could still shoot. So,
but you're going to be based.
But the problem is you're going to be based with this guy most likely, right?
Oh, that's not entirely true, right? Because that doesn't give you it's free in cap with a range of 4.
Right. So, yeah. So
minimum range 4. So
which annoys me, because it makes me think that in cap has a minimum range of 4, but it does not.
No, it's minimum range 6.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
No, in cap has no minimum range.
I've gotten confused by that.
Yeah, if your in cap piece has 0 range, it cannot make a ranged attack somehow.
Oh, that's right. Daredevil can't do any of that. That's
kind of want to equip this guy with exospecs, and then you quake somebody's whole team, and you miss them all, and then you give them all. You give them all that, or you pick hypersonic speed with a 14 movement, and then you miss somebody, and that's not awful.
Okay, now you're going too far.
You sidestep with this guy.
Well, you could do that with Yafet, but yes, you're already you're trying to. You were just trying to give me crap about giving him the lasso.
I'm kind of liking it now.
And now you're like, you know what? I didn't like 10 points. Let's bump it up to 12.
I kind of like that. It's not bad.
That's hilarious. But so the big thing here, right, is Animal Mastermind, right? Fantastic Four Mastermind.
Inhumans with Human Torch.
Any sort of keyword cheat as well, right? So Avengers.
To a degree, like we were saying.
Yeah, so like Doom ruins like Avengers.
Right. He's kind of fallen a little bit out of favor, but yeah, you still have to worry about it.
He's certainly fallen out of favor for this Coffee and Clicks event, right? There's only 2 Dooms in the whole thing,
and it's our own 2 people. Yes.
Wait a minute, no, it's just one of us, right?
It's Sam and TJ.
Yeah.
Is it only Sam and TJ?
Yes, they're the only two people playing Doom. Yes,
That's right. Yeah, that's funny.
Because when I was building Avengers, Lockjaw was one of my potential Steve Rogers things. Because I'm like, yeah, that's great. Like, save me 20 points instead of Prime Marvel. Like, awesome. But then I was like, well, Doom literally makes him useless. Like, he becomes a one-passenger taxi that you can't do anything with. Like, you could body block maybe, and that's about it. So I ultimately, out of fear of Doom, didn't play him. But I've also been saying Dooms, I feel like, are entering the zone of we're getting tired of playing Dooms. And so far, Coffee at Clix has proved that's kind of true. But that could always be subject to change. So.
Right. Yeah, I think for me it was just just the combo of Thanos and the requirement to play the emotional modifier because of Thanos, right? That's why I didn't fall back on playing Bat Doom for this situation.
And speaking of which, Lockjaw, if you're playing an emotion modifier team, he is the piece you probably want to have it, because having 2 clicks to draw line of fire from, 2 squares to draw line of fire from for Battle Fury is huge, because it's always a stepping game where it's like, okay, is everybody in line of fire of my dude for Battle Fury? Lockjaw makes that better because there's
true.
2 squares to draw line of fire from.
Yep, it's way easier.
And we don't actually have a lot of 2 square pieces, peanut bases anymore.
Ghost Rider, him.
There's another Ghost Rider, isn't there?
There's like 2 Ghost Riders.
No, the non-prime Ghost Rider, oddly enough, is a single base.
No, I meant the Chase, right?
No, Chase is standing.
Oh, do you mean the Con LE?
No, the Con LE is the mammoth one, right?
No. The Punisher Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we've got
here. Yeah, I'm looking it up.
I had to look it up just because I was curious. You got the Tiger Dupe, the Valkyrie for War of Realms, Lockjaw, Ghost Rider, the Black Widow bike.
Super good.
It's not bad.
Lobo.
Yeah, and Lobo, and then the horsey Wonder Woman,
and the Bat Cycle. Bat Cycle's legal.
The Bat Cycle that came with the Batmobile, I think.
I thought it was the Robin Cycle.
It says Bat Cycle. Is this a thing?
Yeah,
it's the one that came with the Batmobile.
It's the one that came with the Batmobile.
This one that came with the Batmobile.
I don't think I have ever seen this piece in person, and I own the Batmobile.
You just need to open up your Batmobile and look.
Well, it's one of those things where you buy it and you're like, "Yeah, this is cool," and it's
this is cool.
Taking it out of the box.
I'm never playing this. This
guy's on Fantastic Four teams with Franklin, right? Because he gives all Fantastic Four people unoutwittable, right? They're power cosmic, or they can't be outwitted. I don't remember.
Right. It gives them power cosmic, I think, or cosmic energy. One of the two. I don't remember.
Which is crazy, because then your whole team has unoutwittable mastermind, which we've all talked about. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. He's so good for his points. I can't imagine a Fantastic Four theme team or even an Animal team that doesn't run this piece.
Right.
Yeah.
The only downside on Animal is you can't be TK'd, right?
Yeah, it does. It makes it. You have to change it up a little bit, but it's doable for sure.
It's totally doable. Yeah.
And maggots have already been hard to kill, and giving them this guy just makes it even more annoying.
Right. Luckily, my Animal matchup for this Coffee and Clix event in pod play does not include Lockjaw. So
Lockjaw?
And luckily, like, talking to people that have owned Lockjaw, I don't think I've met a single person that owns one of these. I've met people that have owned like 5 of these.
Well, you know what's funny is that, like, so we saw it at Gen Con, and like 2 or 3 years ago at Gen Con, I went and bought a bunch of these Lockjaws, but it was the rookie, not the veteran. And like, I didn't know. I just wanted it because it was cool. Like, I was digging through a penny bin, right, before we even knew a legacy card was a thing, and I was just like, give me all these 25-cent Lockjaws. And I was like, I should have went through this penny bin for the red ones instead of the yellow ones. But
yeah, It's so. I mean, you shouldn't have that hard of a time finding lockjaws. Unlike the next person we're probably going to talk about.
All right, so legacy card Thanos from Infinity Challenge. All right,
So
so
master of Segway, by the way.
yeah, I would like to just go. I would like to provide an acknowledgement and how we get past this on our discussion.
Okay.
So you'll see. So there are some folks that I want to provide an acknowledgement for that the improved targeting on Thanos makes it an unfair game state for them. Like they believe that his improved targeting is too powerful and should not be there. I would like to provide it. I would like to provide an acknowledgement for that, folks, and a validation of their feelings.
Fair.
Okay.
To be clear, the only person I've heard that from is you.
So
He wants to be validated.
and you know what? Maybe I am the only one, but I don't think I am because I have talked to other folks about that as well.
I've said I don't like the improved. I don't think he should have the improved through everything. I've said that too because I think it's just too much.
Right. So I want to, if it's just me and Alex, that's fine. If it's just me, that's fine.
I want to. Can I also validate my feelings, Dan?
Well, no. Here's what I was going to say.
I'm going to go after you. I'm going to validate my feelings.
That's fine. So what I want to say is WizKids did a great job clarifying what version of blocking he has, improved targeting blocking, and there appears to be no errata in sight for him. So now we're in the realm of how do we play him or play around him, and that's okay because there's no use in grinding our teeth and gnashing our teeth and crying and pulling on our ears. Just we're going to move past it and we're going to play with him or around him. Simple as that.
What rarity was he back in the day?
There wasn't. It was called unique.
Unique. Okay.
There was common and common veteran, and then there was uniques. And that was it. There wasn't even a delineation between that.
Well, it was rookie experience veteran.
What did I say? Yeah, rookie experience veteran. REV. The REV sets. You bought REV sets of figures. And then there was uniques, where there was only one of them in the set. And this was that. He was from the original Heroclix set. This is the OG motherfucking Mad Titan Thanos.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's
where we're going.
They only printed 15 on a standard base. 15 attack. 10 range. This is the epitome of Clix. And then they gave him the Infinity Gauntlet. He should absolutely be able to laugh at your map terrain. Okay? It's the mind gem. He shoots through everything. That's all. I love this piece.
So I agree, Tyler. You know what? I validate your feelings just as much as the other people's feelings.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So it's just I don't want to just come into the reason I said that was I don't want us to be and because I want to just say that hey, we acknowledge that we're not just some meta hungry greedy podcast, right? We have an understanding that some folks think that this might be too powerful, but we also have an understanding that it is what it is, y'all. We got to deal with this. Now we're here as Clixed Off to help you play him or play around him, whatever you'd like to do.
Well, we talk about. I mean, we've done it this episode. We've talked about the game state and the current status of how they're building things, and whether the meta is in a healthy spot, and we talk about that all the time outside of, oh, this is overpowered, we should play it. We talk about that kind of stuff, whether we think, sometimes overpowered isn't good for the just natural state of the game. And we've been in a very good state, I feel like outside of Molecule Man and Sky Tyrant, like if those are your biggest problems, it's not that bad.
I think he's perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Okay.
So now,
sure.
So what I want to say is that I don't agree with that statement, but I have to live with it either way. So what I would like to not do is say, oh, this is too much, or this is not enough, or this is good. Well, we're here. We've got to deal with it. Let's make the most of it.
Okay.
Before we start talking about it, though, I think, how many of these do you think exist out there? Because this is one of those pieces where one of the concerns I've had with the legacy card concept was introducing high meta figures, which we haven't really had this big of high meta until now. Two right out of the bat. And Lockjaw, like I said, there's a bajillion veteran Lockjaws out there. Like, I feel like there's a lot. But Thanos, right out the gate, was already hitting 100. I know he's dropped. I know that.
Right.
But it's not like me as a new player, or like I'm just getting into the meta. If I'm not on a team, I could just run out there and buy one, unless I want to pay a lot.
Right.
I will say,
so, like, because he's been out for 20 years, right? It's a collectible piece that came out 20 years ago for a game where folks throw things away. So especially like after he rotated out of Modern, if I didn't love Thanos, I probably wouldn't have went out and sought to collect him when I started playing Heroclix. But I love Thanos. So I had him. I have all the versions of Thanos in my collection.
Dan, this guy has Eternals. You could use them as a sideboard for Unimind.
Right, and pick up invulnerability.
Yeah.
And then when he pops out, he's 8 attack, 2 damage, and he can't be healed. Yeah. He's probably the worst. He now, to be fair, for fairness for him, he did have the Eternals keyword as an errata.
Did he?
Whenever they gave non-carded pieces keywords, you could look that up on the WizKid site. But he was just as awful then as he is now for the blue flame. But so ignoring the map is huge. So hold on, Tyler. Here's this. Why don't you regale us with the options on the Infinity Gauntlet trait, and explain to us how that works?
Yeah. Well, I'll do his first one first because it's easier. First trait is I am a god. Thanos is awesome. Thanos has cosmic energy team ability. He only has 1 power ever. Well, that's not true. You can have with the other. So he has power cosmic energy, and he can reduce penetrating damage. So he only has defensive powers roll dial. He starts with invuln, switches toughness, and then he has 1 click of regen. Invuln's a lot better it's basically, it's invincible pretty much. He has invincible. And he has 11 clicks long for 175 points. And then his other one is Behold the ultimate power in the universe. So this Thanos wasn't originally supposed to be the Infinity Gauntlet Thanos, but they've kind of added it with this. So at the beginning of your turn, roll a d6 and choose a number of Infinity Gem effects equal to half of the result from the list below, so 1 to 3. Then Thanos can use the chosen effects until your next turn, and they correlate to the gems, pretty much that we got from Infinity Challenge, kind of. Not
ABPI.
Yeah. Yep. So power, he can choose power. He gets close combat and range combat expert. That's great. +1 attack, +1 damage, the whole dial. His damage is a little bit low at 3, goes up to 4 for 1 click, so that helps that out. Time is just probability control super senses.
Pause 1 second. I am a little bit miffed that the time gem from ABPI didn't grant that.
That would be cool.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That would be cool.
All right. Then third is Reality, Barrier and Smoke Cloud, and he may use both as free, but only place 1 marker. It's not like super great. It probably won't come. That's probably the one you'll use the least.
Yep.
But if you're running, like, Exo's pretty good on this guy, you can pick Stealth and then just keep him in Stealth the whole game if that's something. Soul is Steal Energy with close or range attacks, and then Regen is free. That's very huge, right? He has the Producers with 11 health, so he's pretty hard to burn through. He's not hard to hit, but he's hard to burn through with this power, because you probably have to deal 15, 20 damage to him to do it. And then Mind is the big one. So that's improved targeting pack. Improved targeting, literally everything that could mean. He can. Terrain does
hold
not.
on. It's not all of them.
Really?
It's only the one. It's the non-bust blocking.
Well, sure. Yeah, you can't break blocking.
So
I actually wish he had that. Wouldn't that be...
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. That was just me being an engineer and wanting to be very accurate.
Nope, that is true. And it's relevant because you can't break blocking with him. Also, there are other things that can block his line of fire. So, like, the one that always comes to my mind is the Captain America that can choose a a cardinal direction and it blocks lines of fire. Stuff like that still works. Or things that says you can't draw lines of fire.
The onslaught, that sort of thing.
Yep,
or dolphins, right?
Or dolphins. The animal.
Yeah, no, the symbol in water is what I mean, not the figure.
Yep. And then last one is space. Gives him phasing teleport. And then, that's something to note on the mind. It does not give him mind control. He can just use mind control as free. That's something to keep in mind. And then space is phasing teleport. And then he also gets to use phasing teleport as free, but only to move 6 squares. So that's great for a tentpole. So the biggest problem with tentpole pieces is the two things. You have to worry about being tied up, which space gem solves for this guy, and then you have to worry about being out actioned, which free mind control every turn is a huge
so and it's a double-edged sword with being tied up, because if you get tied up with a bunch of 1 or 2 damage pogs, it doesn't matter because you have the mind gem to just shoot out of adjacency.
Right, yeah, so you don't really care about it.
You don't really care about him. And then if you get, tied down with like some carnages, right, with a bunch of plasticity and stuff, you can just go whoop, and you can get away. So,
yeah, and the one of my things I just hate about it is that like end cap is pretty much useless, because you could tie him up, and he could roll for a 3 and be like, okay, I can free phase, free mind control, and free regen, and just in one turn with two tokens.
And that's why he doesn't get the cosmic energy roll.
Right, so it's like, see ya, and he just like does everything anyway.
Right.
So it's like, okay, all right, thanks, buddy.
So,
see ya.
So here's the question for Daniel that Daniel's asking himself: is Thanos better than Unimind?
Right. I think he's primed to be that next Avengers level threat for modern.
Wow, that's a good one. I like that, actually.
Yeah, and you know
It's
what?
like, Unimind was the boogeyman for 3 years, right? I think this could be that figure.
I think so. It's the meta is always a ebb and flow and a shift, right? Because this guy has good keywords, right? So let's just talk about the cosmic. That's good.
He has a ton of keywords.
Ruler, that's good, right?
Black Order.
We're talking about the good ones.
Oh, sorry. Infinity Watch. They're in bold. I assume that means they're good, right? Yeah. I'm just playing. Go ahead. Hey, that goes with Prime Gamora.
Right. So there's a lot of cool things there, right? There's a lot of good keywords, right? But and ultimately, right, he comes down to, if he becomes too powerful, the meta flows to the Secret Six.
Or to the watch list.
Right, or to the watch list, right? Do I think that Thanos is watch listable? The problem is no.
I'm going to disagree with you there.
Because so here's the thing. Like, hold on, just real quick, Tyler. And you might disagree, and this might be how you disagree with me. Is that if the only thing I think they could change is his Infinity Gem based on the number of tokens that he has.
No, that's not the easiest fix. You just make his see through everything tied to the mind control. I think that's what's broken on him. If you said anything was broken, was the fact that he can mind control everybody, regardless of everything, but he just gets the targeting, period. So like, you can attack, you could do perplex, probs, whatever. You just period get improved targeting. So if they just took that away and just said, no, it's the mind gem, so we're tying it to the mind gem, then I think that definitely makes him still super playable, but not super oppressive. But we haven't seen him oppressive because he hasn't seen play yet. We're seeing that live now.
Yeah, we'll have to see how he does, right, in this tournament.
And we saw there was 6, I think, right? So.
6 out of 8 teams, 1 out of 8. I think he should be watch listed at 100%. And the reason is because I think that they need to errata him to where you can use this legacy card with the other Thanos. That is the exact same.
Oh my gosh, Tyler! Oh gosh.
Well, you have to agree with me there, right?
No.
It's they basically, for people who don't know, this guy was in the original set, and then like maybe 5 or 10 years later, they kind of did a reprint of that set, and this guy was in it, and it's the exact same figure with the exact same everything.
Universe was 2 years later.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
well, whatever. But it's the exact same everything except for set number, so you can't use the legacy card with him. So I think that's what the errata should be, just to let more be in circulation. If somebody was like, "Oh, I have this guy," and then they pull him out and it's from Universe, they're like, well, that sucks. He's now a $2 figure instead of a $100 figure, or whatever.
So, you know what, Tyler? I will tentatively agree with you on that.
Okay. Yeah, as far as like gameplay for this guy goes, the best one obviously is the Mind Gem. Just even if it didn't give any improved anything, like having Mind Control as free with 10 range 2 targets every turn is nuts. This guy has 12 movement and 10 range, so he has full map reach with that Mind Control by himself turn 1, which can just like devastate a team, right? Like just moving up and mind controlling 2 pieces on the opponent's team can just wreck people, especially if it's through everything, right? If they have like, you can kill their taxi, you could kill the retaliators turn 1, you could, if they, my favorite is if they have a Giganta, you can mind control that Giganta and then she can quake his whole team with her special power. So it's obviously really good. The weaknesses are, he's an 18, we call it invuln, it's basically invincible. But his defenses drop off, so if you can just dish out a lot of damage, he's really not super hard to burn through. The Time Gem helps if you can pick that. So you want to try to mitigate that either through, giving him a Mastermind piece, like something like Captain Marvel's cool. A Defend piece is great because then even on his later dials, you still have to roll high numbers. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I don't disagree with you there, Tyler. So,
and this should be the most exciting piece that has ever been released for you. This is Thanos with the gauntlet. This is such a cool figure. This is such a huge props to WizKids. It was a classic fan favorite piece. They added the power, the Infinity Gauntlet to him, and they did it really well. He's a very fun piece to play. He plays like movie Thanos, what it feels like to me, because movie Thanos, and whenever he's a fight scene, you would see a gem glow, and then he would do something cool with it, and that's kind of how this plays exactly. And we've been complaining. There's been no tent poles for 3 years since Unimind rotated out. There's been no tent poles.
Right. It's almost 2. Yeah.
Right. And this guy kind of brings that back to where there's actually a piece over 100 points that people want to play, and it's exciting to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
So Tyler. So I mean, I'll say this. I know I'm not playing Thanos, but. I am very excited about him. I just don't.
And if he becomes to we'll see from probably not enough from this tournament, but just over time, if he does become too powerful, I would be fine with an errata. I don't care. It's still a super fun piece.
Right.
But to be 175 points, you have to do some crazy stuff with what the 30-point pieces can do right now, right?
Right. No, I agree. So I mean, I just don't. I'm like, it's one of those things. The problem is that it forces too much emotional modifier play. It almost makes that a requirement. And
it's a very big counter for him.
Right.
Sure.
And so that
not even a very good one though.
Well, so it doesn't stop the shooting, right? So but I think teams were already inherently set up to defend against a one big shot. Right? So a lot of teams are already designed to be able to absorb that. Does that make sense? Right?
Yeah, I mean
your animal your animal team, right? What's 4 damage doing to it? A chip?
Come in.
A chip? right? Ultra Humanite, maybe, right? So it's like I really loved it. So like I think that's what's tempering my excitement in general, right? Because you look at like I did really well with Starro. I've done really well with Batman. I like to be able to use the mind control, I think, right? Even Uni, right? Uni had mind control at top dial. And
she'll target mind.
Yeah, and I use that quite a bit. So I think the problem for me that tempers my like excitement that you have, right? Because I want to have the excitement level that you have. The emotional modifier, like it just makes it such a grind for me to want to like the Thanos at the same excitement level that you have.
Yeah, I think to add my feelings upon this, I feel like your love for Thanos is clouding your typical judgment of pieces being OP and bad for the meta. Like, I've always felt like you're a big component of this is just bad for the meta. I feel like he just does too much. Like, I get what you're saying about tent poles and like, you know, they have to do a lot, but being able to do 3 things when you're double tokened and all of them can make you just not killable and like unable to be targeted and, you know, just being able to phase, mind control people away and then regen. Like, I just feel like that's almost too much. It'll remain to be seen, obviously, by how tournament play goes. But I just feel like your love for him almost counters what I feel like you've said multiple times. But
so you can never know. You can never
right.
Bias. So I am aware that could be. I'm still saying what I'm saying.
No.
Because I agree with you. To me though, with the problem that we've had with tent poles is it is crazy what a 30-point piece can do right now. We've all been talking about that. So in order to, like I said, the biggest problem is to not be out actioned by a tent pole piece. Because that's even with Gladiator, you see it sometimes where you kill everything else and you try to keep him tokened and tied down and just sort of ignore it. And if you can do that to a 175-point piece, it's way worse because it's over half your team. So there has to be mitigating factors for that. But it could, like, in 3 months, I could be saying this guy's Battlefield like that. When you remember when Vulture was first released, and we were all like, "Wow, this is kind of cool. I hope this guy does well." And then somebody played him, and we're like, "Oh, that's such a funny team." And then 1 month later, we're like, "Wow, this is really bad. I did not see this coming. We were wrong." And that could absolutely happen with this. And hopefully I'll be able to admit that. But currently, just with the fact that his dial's empty, and you know, the only crazy thing he does is shoot through everything. Everything else is fine. You know, free phasing. It's, you know, we've seen pieces do that before. Everything else we've seen before.
Right. I mean, I think the most powerful thing for him is that ignoring the elevation, right? And you know what? I like that 175-point piece takes out the most powerful 30-point piece. Molecule Man, right?
Yeah, just shoots.
Yeah, he just shoots and Molecule Man's dead. So, like, I guess, Tylor, I think if anything, I'm just trying to mitigate my excitement so I don't get disappointed later this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's also going to depend on, like, I think one hard counter, hopefully, at some point is Avengers. Funny enough, talk about ironic that Avengers might be Thanos counter.
Right, because Avengers has the Shifty Widow, right, that just shuts him down.
Well, not even just that. Like, Chase Widow, if you could get to him...
He just has invuln.
Yeah, he has invuln, and it's like, good. And you can obviously mitigate that a bit, but that's the closest we got to just like, hey, here's your invuln. Let's hope we could kill you. Like, and so... that's not a team that's really made yet. It's still as new as Thanos. And so there's hope. And if that becomes popular and hopefully Chase Widow doesn't retire, then yeah, it might be okay. He just adds to the dodecahedron of modern. But I will say, all the people that are counting on emotional modifier to counter Thanos, you two things. It is not a simple plug and play.
That's right. It's super important.
Yes,
especially
because
the more pieces on your team, the worse it is, obviously.
Right, because you really have to focus on the line of fire, and that is not nearly as easy as you think it is. Right. That's one of those that you're like, oh yeah, no, I'll just make sure that everyone's in line of fire, and then you go and taxi everyone out, and you're like, shoot, I can't get everyone within line of fire. Like, uh-oh.
You go to taxi someone out, and they all have Battle Fury, and now you can't carry it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to time it right, and if you're a highly mobile team, you're like, well, I can't do what I want to do. This sucks. And so that's just some things you're going to have to be mindful of, because it's just not as easy as you think it is.
Right. I agree. So, I just, for folks there, so I didn't realize how long we were going, and I do have to get back downstairs because we're recording in the evening time instead of at the late night. So, our next episode, I think we'll talk about a check-in with our Coffee and Clix progress through the pods. Talk about our teams. I'll probably go ahead and get this episode out in the next day or so, and so let's just go ahead. Anything else on Thanos?
Just as in general, they did such a good job with all the legacy cards. This is what I imagined when legacy cards came out. Is like a really cool fan favorite piece that they've updated in a really cool way that makes it competitive and modern. I think even on the ones that aren't competitive, like I said, the two Doctor Dooms, it's just Fire Lord. It's a really cool thing for people to be able to pull up these old Clix and be able to use them in a really fun way.
I agree, and I think I'll just add to that real quick on that would be, it lets us know as a community that WizKids does care about the game and has awareness of their game. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And
like they remember Lamp and things like that.
They remember Lamp. They remember where they've come from, right? And that there are people at the company that do care about the community, right? About the people that have played their game for a really long time, and that is extremely heartwarming for me. So, final thoughts? Tyler, did you have any other final thoughts?
Yeah, who the fuck is Red Shift? Why is he a legacy card?
I don't know. He's a herald.
Okay.
Alex?
I'm nervous about legacy cards, but in general, just whether we need a more honest and better built secondary market, but that would really require WizKids to, which I think was their intent before COVID hit, create a thriving Silver Age type format. Like if you have legacy cards and a good strong Silver Age, then there should be a good secondary market that can mitigate some of these issues that I'm concerned about with legacy cards, and that's availability.
Right.
So
that leads me to my final thought is if it's safe in your area, right, and this is primarily for our North American folks, go to your local flea market, antique mall, vendor mall, look for those buckets of Clix, and have fun digging, because that's on my list. Going to try to go, sometimes when it's a little bit less populous, because, we are in the middle of an Omicron surge. So if it's safe, go dig for some old Clix, right? You might be able to make a little bit of scratch.
And build a community, surprisingly.
That's right.
Because they'll suddenly be like, man, Heroclix are selling.
That's correct. I'm going to go dig some more out of my storage building. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Clixed Off today. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's day.
See ya.
See ya.